4th place that they got at Champs last year, and they're yet to get a trophy as they did in Madrid last year, still hunting that greatness that this organization is known for.
Change of comp here for GX. Last time we saw them against TL at close 13-11. They were on a Cypher still. Westside has opted to go over towards Device here instead. It's Sentinel starting on the attack side and already want to pressure A with a split.
Second, now moving forward, getting a little bit of information, wants to play off that Prowler, which does get the connection. All of Yard is now under the control of Sentinels. You can see Gravino fast on the rotate though. 4 GX players posted up.
Some stall here. You'll notice, of course, Westside is tucked there over by Pocket. And for now, Sentinels slow things down, but they are on a clock wire with the drift across the map by Flickless.
Dog cover gonna go down backside, Westside. 2 on the anchor from Elbow.
Big opening here. Sentinels realize they're priced into this at this point. With Westside out of the picture now, they're going to have to commit, but a Paranoid's going to slow them up in further, and this has brought time for Flickless now to turn up in A main. Sentinels have decided they've rattled Sabres enough here on this A side of the map, and they're slowly pulling out.
This B site is entirely vacant with Flickless pushing through B main. It allowed all of GX to rotate over to A, post up with the entire team. But now, trade-off, SEN are going to get that free plant on the B side, but you have to favor GX. Being able to take this retake down, it's just going to come down to competent trades in this 4 versus 3.
Zen can still set up here and at least take a tower position. Naturally, an 08 will post up in Elbow. They're concerned about a Rappy coming from spawn side, but all of GX now have announced themselves, and that's Grabinho. Not solo, they're atop mid. Flickless not able to take a trade though, and Zekin from that tower spot. That Ghost is starting to sing out. A lot of good damage. Ara knocked down to 15. Zekin able to slide across now, but it's Flickless who's exploring the site itself, and GX lock it down. Ara and Flickless, the 2 players coming up from Tier 2, are the ones to make the impact in the pistol.
Both those SEN players just forced to swing out on the spike tap. Deleted. Despite Bang getting that isolated 1 versus 1 kill on the controller opposition, they're still able to eventually win things out. What a play from Westside. Lovely anchoring from that elbow position. And it was Flickless' willingness at the beginning of the round to push all the way out of B main. It just allowed GX to stack up on that proper site, find the early advantage.
Sentinels had honestly timed their exit from that A side of the map to perfection. As soon as Flickless rotates in from B, he doesn't actually see them get there. Not the opener Sentinels were looking for. But again, their attack side's been pretty darn good on Corrode. It's the defense side that's raised a few eyebrows in the past. Here's Zekin trying to challenge early slide on out, but Cloud deals with him as Westside will remain in that pocket spot.
Zelsis going to go ahead and grab that orb. I'm interested in seeing what Westside is going to bring on this Vice pick, because throughout Stage 2, he was running kind of his patented Cypher on this map, and he was locking down that B site with some very creative setups. But GX have very much so indexed into the meta of this map that we've been seeing more globally. I've certainly been seeing a lot of in Americas. These are agents that SEN are definitely going to be prepared to play against. They've got a lot of experience against them.
Delsa's likely an attempt to sell something more at A. Doesn't just draw out the shield wall, he commits and is easily picked off. Not the most inspired way to try and catnip GX over at A, but it does at least allow the Sentinels to set up. They've not gotten in. Flickless looks to keep them at arm's length now as we head into the last 30 seconds of the round.
SEN should have no hopes of dealing any damage here, but I do believe they're able to kind of min-max the orb situation and collect each on the 2 sides of the map. Westside likely going to clean up these last 2 players. Things go a little bit awry, but all good. He was the man just with the Ghost. So all of the important weapons retained for GX into this bonus round effort that'll be coming up. Of course, an Outlaw early for Aura. So proficient with the scoped weapons. That has been his bread and butter, and such a crucial part of the success for GX on the defensive sides that they play.
I really enjoy watching GX on defense in general. Westside, obviously, fantastic anchor player, really dependable, and where the map allows for it, GX love to push up, get some info, super active on the defense side, even trying to set up these little pops early. This is where that'll be put to the test though. Sent into a buy, looking for that mid-control early, and they've smoked it off heavily.
That standard haunt thrown up top by Narrate Prowler through your critical pieces of utility for getting up mid. It's early link control, bit of damage exchange. Bang, real low. Zekin as well.
Westside has fallen back to elbow out of that pocket position, but might even... I thought about reposting towards it. The gate crash set up here. Flickless, though, is down. That's a pick over towards top mid. He just goes for an exploration, and Bang was holding the line already.
And look at GX at the top of the map. They're now concerned about some of the gaps that are open, but SEN have just been biding their time, waiting to get into this A site, which is now totally devoid of any anchors.
Also, great presence in A main still for Sentinels here. An off angle by John. And they'll be able to drift over. This puts GX in a bit of an awkward spot. Gravino has been so dependable in this controller role. Will have to find a way in himself here.
Cover going out.
Look over towards pocket. That is at least going to eliminate that as an option. And also let GX start to get into the side itself. Second waiting. Prowler, though, eaten up at close range. He's going to relay vault to try and get the space. He's low down to 45. But the paranoia here comes on through. Westside and Cloud look to step up. Second will be first up and last out, apparently. And Gravino hasn't really been able to move from this position at all. Sentinels draw GX out of A with that pick in mid. Take the side for themselves.
I do love how Zekin plays that situation, feeling the pressure of multiple GX players, retaking through that main area of the site. Loses some health, doubles back. A paranoia comes through from Bang to assist him. Prowler as well, then reposts on the angle. Even a little movement adjustment for that second kill. Really lovely stuff from him. Not too much damage done from GX on that bonus round. SEN stabilizing their economy just a bit here.
Once again, it's the same setup over towards mid. Both the fast lane and the Viper were committed. Gravino playing close on the other side.
Yeah, this time GX are ready to contest with this paranoia.
Prowler's following him out.
Multiple players there. Prowler going through, but Bang, crucial kill.
I'm going to use the paper mache walls to his favor, though. Takes Bang down now. Wants to try and challenge mid off the flash. Not much to be seen there, but Flickless is able to take care of Zelsis. And that's the control, the B side of the map secured.
This is GX saying you're not going to be taking mid for free. What an adjustment from Aura. A gate crash if he does need to escape, but wow, actually just pops it as a fake immediately that he's gotten back out towards that B-side link, but he's staying posted up.
Here's that proactivity on defense for GX, but this time it puts him right in John's crosshairs. Aura at least is able to respond, again emerging from that top mid spot. He's already had 3 kills in the round, locking mid down, causing that spike to go loose, and leaving it all up to Zekin.
Those remaining SEN players, numbers dwindling away because they just have too many angles to cover.
A double face here is easy to put together. Zekin has to expect that, yeah. Either Aura or Flickless will get the job done. He's 5-1 for someone who's feeling a bit under the weather recently, not even scrimming. He's hit the ground running.
Debut global event as well. I love this adjustment from GX. Good call from IGL Cloud. They've been giving that mid space for free. SEN have been happy to take it fast. So with those Yoru flashes, some of our own initiator utility, just repop onto them, refight for that space. Really, really love that decision from GX. And now SEN, some fear is going to be instilled in them as well. When we have those walls up in mid, there could be flashes coming at us. They could be swinging through on us.
Curious about how these, Zelsis lurks mid to late round have been looking so far. Flickless has been hard to shift on that B side of the map. Zara starting up close and personal this time, a little more than he perhaps bargained for at top mid. Now 3 players in link. Surely GX pop from here.
Well, yeah, they want to re-push. Steel guarded as well. SEN routed, running down mid, but Bang caught up top, so is Zekin.
Confirmation though as Westside steps in the mid. This is under the effects of Steel Garden, by the way. The classics ring out. I've never seen a better endorsement for the bundle than that. And the A side is open for Sentinels.
A cool, proactive idea from GX
They
to
lost
try
the
to
pistols.
refight into the mid. But with SEN being able to escape towards the bottom and then, re-swing out, that is madness. How on earth does Zekin get?
But if you watch GX, right, you've seen this a lot. This is something they did to Fnatic in that series that really made Fnatic uncomfortable. There wasn't this time to set up. There were these thrusts coming out from defenders at really inopportune moments for them. Very disruptive. That is just ridiculous.
Zekin just straight up won a 1v1 against Gravino on that swing. That is crazy.
So Steel Garden didn't really have the impact I think they were hoping it would.
You're right. That is a very GX-coded play, though. They love to use an ult on defense to activate some kind of very aggro play. SEN are just going back to the well, seemingly. They wanted to go up mid, but this time it's just a little bit more of a a bait, drawing the attention and a reposition towards this B main side, and GX are going to find that out when they pop out of the smoke with the flash.
Not a costly re-clear in terms of util for GX. Somewhat in positioning, right? They now have to make their way back into B, and if they don't beat the timing, they're in trouble. Now, no one's going to be affected by this Nightfall. Flickless, though, does step in, and the Steel Garden is active this time against GX. Bang with the Paranoid. They're going to have to hit this at some point, and Zekken gets in there with the overdrive. A player at top mid on the other side of the smoke, and it's very clear where Flickless was standing. He is hit with that seize, and all of GX now getting mowed down. Coming out of top mid, even at long range, Zekken downs Ara. 3 for him in the round. And another flawless posted by Sentinels.
Zekken at global events this year has just been a monster. At Toronto, he was out of control. If he gets right back into that form here at Champions, this is going to be a potent Sentinels team. GX take a massive risk trying to get back into that site during the Steel Garden. Yeah. Flickless goes in. That is a bold play.
Give me a fist bump. Let's go.
Crazy bold play, and they're punished for it.
And Sentinels can sort of guess how deep GX have gotten back into that side because of the info, or the lack of info that Nightfall actually provided. And then they've got such a massive inherent advantage. And Zelsis off the rip finally wins one against Flickless here at B, but he has some backup.
This is just a Sheriff's round for GX, so can't really fault Flickless for trying to go for something aggro.
Again, this is...
It's all of GX going for something aggro, which it's really felt like every single round so far. Nice shot from Cloud. Does deal with Zekken.
John gets a lot of damage on this corner, in fairness. But the kill. Picked up for GX. Okay. Man, those regen shields really getting pushed their limits for John. He is going to have to give a lot of ground here and try and play at arm's length. He's given a lot of map control here to GX, but all of Sen are entrenched now in the post-plant scenario at B.
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, they should just be trying to kill John here, and they are, but
thank you.
Able to collect both. Well played from Sen's IGL.
Like the look from Gravino this game, but he has not been able to get on the board in a gainful manner, and well, that's going to remain the issue. Sentinels post another one here, and this is that economy now. The North American squad starting to develop.
That was fairly important for John to keep that gun. I mean, it does just put Sen's economy in an absolutely out-of-control spot now. They will not be on an eco anytime soon. Uphill battle for GX in that regard.
One enemy remaining.
And so to some degree, it does feel like Sentinels are trying to tempt some early movement out of GX in these rounds, right? Take some space early, give it up, see if they re-clear, see how much they invest in re-clearing. Either use it positionally or fight them as they try and do so. This time it's over towards A, that's where the presence is, but there is a poison orb inside A main. Sentinels aren't going to advance too much further than this for now. You'll notice they've left that shield wall in their wake, so likely looking to end elsewhere.
We're finally seeing Aura pick up that operator. It's so critical for GX.
Pivotal to his playstyle.
Yeah, success on defense, both for him, but for the team in entirety. You know, a lot of their defense success really comes around playing with the op and then forcing those attackers into Westside site where he's so fantastic at anchoring.
Doesn't see it, doesn't check the corner. Danger abounds. Westside, he takes his opportunity and he converts on it. And there's bang to fall as well. Perhaps some more Dotty vibes, crossing of T's required there for Sentinels. But they have crumbled in a screaming heap.
He is such a stunningly consistent player in scenarios just like that. Playing in anchored position, Zelsis is going to be able to pick up this one, but still, how can they wrangle this back? Time is getting quite low, 30 seconds remaining. Spike,
30 seconds
isolated
left.
top mid. Why not go for it? They have infinite amounts of money right now, but...
There's a Haunt shot out. Phone spotted, now we're going to start spamming, I suspect. Ara obviously with the op, able to hold that line down. John is left alone against 4. That wall heavily perforated, the damage starting to come in. An auspicious number of health left here for John. Only 6 seconds left in the round to maintain this weapon. He'll wait for a step up, caught in the seas, decayed to 1, and dispatched.
That's that op getting online, and then just kind of forcing. You can see Sen, they want to play towards top mid. They go right into West Side. He displays some lovely patience there. Picks the opportune timing. Crosshair placement is excellent. And that's what a lot of it comes down to for him when you watch him on defense. His crosshair placement is just genuinely impressive. Always in the right spot.
Good bait, no? I'm all behind you.
Really liking what I'm seeing from Westside this game. Flickless also been really asserting himself on the B side of the map and successful. Philsen have started to figure out a couple of ways to best him.
Second does take a bit of spam damage. GX heavily indexed towards mid, towards A, as they have that op controlling the B side.
So now what do they do with this mid control? Do they give it up, wait for a re-clear? Cut noise, perhaps, look for a way on A. There's a shield wall there in A main, which has not been uncommon in this game.
I mean, right now, there's no reason for them to believe that SEN aren't going to, drift towards either maybe up mid, but likely towards A at this point. Now, all of that Vice util towards A is actually expended, so that's nice for SEN to get out around the minute mark on the round.
Ara playing forward on B here means it's pretty hard for Sentinels to feign B presence at all. He set up with a gate crash that would let him get back to elbow. Eyes on West Side here, someone who we've been tracking very closely as a top performer already in these 8 rounds. Poison Orb here will obscure that field of view somewhat. Shield wall now triggered and SEN are going to fully commit. So they got 4 players here heading over towards Yard, which is the only left back towards mid. Here's the Nightfall coming through. Narrate deals with Cloud. That's the eventual peak into mid dealt with.
Left.
And some elbow control being assumed now for Zelston. Slow and steady. There's a relay bot catching on to Gravino. He's struggling in this game. Narrate doubles down. West Side out of the picture now. The close vicinity of the A side's been cleared. And Flickless walks headlong into an up shot.
That was simply the perfectly placed recon bolt from Second. That connected onto both anchoring players on their re-entry after being stalled so heavily by a really significant ultimate that Cloud threw out. That connected onto everyone coming through that link side. They had no chance of getting into the site. There was a paranoia thrown on top of that. Which perhaps Gravino is regretting for not saving for a re-entry, but did think they were going to maybe pop out of that smoke, so can't really blame him, but would have been nice to have for that second wave.
I think in general, I just think the evolution of GX on this Corrode map has been satisfying. They've been criticized, I think, maybe for sticking to their sort of Sova breach guns too heavily on a lot of maps in the past. I think the adoption of this Yoru gives them coverage of a lot more of the map, and also some pseudo-initiator capacity, right, in terms of his kit. Not too shabby from them. Remember, Sentinels have a 74% attack side win rate on this map recently. Typically, they run teams over here. The GX staying in step is a very good sign.
And that is really the thing about GX in terms of their comp choices. They love the double initiator still, and it got them on the best run that they've had all year in Stage 2 to make it to champs. But now that they're here, yeah, they're switching up towards the more meta double controller, at least to begin here on Corrode. Opsil for Aura. Flickless does have that Viper's Pit, which could be thrown down on B at a moment's notice. So.
Still Garden also active on both sides. That's been a pretty key component of the util or ultimate heavy rounds we've seen on Corrode so far.
Do you expect if SEN make too much noise over on this B side, that pit will be thrown down immediately. They have the opt control over towards A main. So this should be a challenging round for SEN.
Yeah, look at this forward posting up here in A main by Ara. This is... I think we heard that shot ring out. This has made a little bit half a cent to get this part of the map under their control.
And it's key for them that they try to exploit some of these lanes in mid, knowing that that pit is in B main. Kill from Cloud, just spam, I believe, yeah.
Might have been off the back of some of that util either way. Second now falling. That is mid presence completely neutralized. Now's a peek out from A short. Now where do you go? SEN are running out of options. They did draw the Viper's Pit out onto the B side of the map. Flickless felt like that was an appropriate investment. But elsewhere, there's no penetration here for Sentinels.
GX just do a great job of finding those kills in mid, the only really open lane that SEN had, and now they're going right back into this pit in B main. Zelsus with the
Please
attack.
check that corner this time.
This is something he's been picking up a lot more recently in Stage 2.
Okay, they're going to try and seize maybe to clear out. Yeah, this pit, they've got a catch there, and again, it's Gravino sat up on the corner. Pit down though, Flickless inside of it, caught inside to seize, but Gravino nicely done with a recovered operator. Deals with Narrate, and this puts John in an impossible situation. He'll just hope to walk away with weapon intact.
Gotta feel good for Gravino to get online, get on the board. Couple crucial kills to close this round out. It's nicely done from him. GX able to tie things right back up. You can see the effectiveness now that the operator is online for Aura as well. Even though he hasn't been racking up kills with it, it's just the map control that he's getting is even impacting the game, right? That is
apropos of nothing, Wyatt. Cloud has just gotten
bit unfortunate.
the inkling he should spray.
What a shot from West Side. He is so good, man. He really is talented.
Yeah, I've become a bit of a fan of this GX team, I think, watching them. I love those teams who want to push up for info and defense, get active a little bit, take some risks.
R again is posted up towards that A main side with the operator and has a gate crash all the way towards back B. He needs to get over there quickly, and he just may need to. Steel Garden is going to canvas the entirety of the site. Flickless isolated in there with just a shorty.
Okay, Steel Garden out in response, but all this does is really slow Sentinels down. Do they want to imply they've been affected by it? Pull out your secondary.
I mean, that does enough that Flickless does get his gun back in time, ready to fight towards Link. Second tower.
What? That is a nasty one. Gravino able to cover at least, and now swinging into two. It's Bang deals with him. Did catch the pocket player with the paranoia. It's shocking to me that there's even a trade. Nicely done for GX, and Zelsis is dug out of position. Traded though, West Side off the map. Now player inside elbow, and Sentinels have the pre-plant Viper's Pit in play.
Then caught by that Prowler, knows it's time to just get out of there. This dimensional drift trying to spot players out for Cloud, but with Aura isolated, no value to be found from this ultimate.
What's the play supposed to be for Aura? Yeah, I think discretion might be the better part of Valley here. Play off the side, hold the op. Still another round left in the half. Maybe get yourself a freebie if anybody steps past the line of scrimmage.
Really has no choice but to save. Look at the status of the cash for GX. It is dangerously low, and there is zero chance he'd be able to win this post plant out in this 1v3 with the pit down. I honestly though, if Zekin doesn't get that initial kill, that absolutely absurd neon slide kill, round looks totally different. You have to imagine 9 out of 10 times he's going down there. He's jumping out to create space and draw the crosshair away from his teammates. He didn't even have his gun out.
There are actually
slides and gets a kill.
2 GX players on that corner, and if the paranoia doesn't hit one of them, as you see there, this is disastrous. This is very bad for
criminal. That is a criminal. I like this from West Side as well. That was nice. He, you know, with the wall going down, he pops a flash, he isolates a 1v1.
The tables are hot, gentlemen.
But from there, he's not able to get any assistance. You know, Heaven was smoked off where Aura was at. Good effort, but
Sentinels seem pretty satisfied with progress so far in this map. Oh, there it is. Prowler tried to get involved, not to be Aura. Flattens Zek, and now is able to fall back further.
That is Aura going onto that angle late. The attacker beats the timing of the defender in A main, but he's just so fast that it did not matter. That is a display of just the sick reactions that this guy has when he's playing with the op.
Now, he's over in that mid position. Gate crashed here after that first pick in A. 3 players of Sentinels here grouped up trying to make their way through short. This is not being actively checked by Grabinho. Now the ball comes up at a nice time for them to get on in. Aura now needs to spend a shot, get back through the wall. This is going to get that top mid control over. The Sentinels have struggled to fight for this part of the map. It's been very expensive for them, and they don't really want to force the issue there. Still trending in that A direction.
They draw a lot of attention towards P. Good paranoia from Grabinho will stall things up for Sen. Maybe allow for a rotate timing. Well, rotate is gone now. West Side at least with a pretty swift trade. Sen still need to deal with the anchors here on this site from GX.
And they're still on a clock from that rotation in through mid. It's Cloud with a Guardian now to give a quarterback good count of himself. And that's Grabinho for 2. What an important anchoring moment for GX. Just as Sen looked like they'd had the local player advantage. Beautiful on defense this team is. Really enjoyed that half. Sentinels here are more stately open to the Champions campaign.
A real neck-and-neck game at the moment. Sentinels, who are typically very dominant on this corrode attack, get stalled out just enough.
We'll be back, of course, with more of this first map between Sentinels and GX after a few.
Round. They went down 11-1. So doesn't really need to be said that they need to put on a much better performance here against GX. This is their map pick, by the way. They picked this map, and that was their last showing on it.
I remember that was Bang had 1 kill at halftime in that game. Naturally for a bit of showing here, Grabinho with a classic though. Deals with Zekum with all too much ease. Doesn't even take any damage in that exchange. And that has already opened a possibility for GX on this B side.
Narrator's got a pretty forward position in mid, but with the wall dropping, going to retreat a little bit towards Link as GX need to rotate towards this A side. Cloud has been posted up in a safe position just to wait out any aggression that may have come from SEN, but it did not. It's been safe from them right now on this pistol round.
Testing A main now. Near Viper ball to keep them at bay, and they're going to step over that. A Razor Vine there and Flickless.
And Narrate just walks out into the open angle and it's left John
Alone
alone.
as well. John's been able to find two. Surely not more from John QT. A stunning three-piece that has now given SEN a chance to come up for air. And Zelsa steals with the spike carrier. A round that felt all but lost there. Salvaged by the captain.
I suppose Narrate feeling like if he goes out, they wouldn't expect John to be behind that box as well. So sacrifices his life. And
yes.
John, he definitely made the most of it.
They never expect the second player to swing alone.
But listen, if there's anyone that could win a 1v2 right now for GX, it is Westside. He is white hot.
Arkrose confirms no presence in the side after the fact. Westside has pulled back now, though, giving this position away. Smoke thrown up here. Bang will be waiting within its depths now. Zelsa's already got it to half, and Westside gets a frosty reception when he ducks in. Sentinels after a rocky start. 3v5 at one point. Able to take a second half pistol.
That is such an outrageous series of kills from John. The second one, the adjustment to the jump connects the instant headshot. That is sick.
Ara literally jumped to try and allow the other player to swing in. Maybe the spacing could be looked at there for GX, but it's hard to feel like they did anything really wrong there.
Idea's not totally aligned there. I mean, if Ara just swings out normal, he might have just gotten the instant trade. So fundamentals a miss, and John hits some unreal shots to exploit it.
Classic SEN move here. The force into heavy stingers after winning the pistol. Something that sort of changes the dynamic of the bonus round quite drastically, but allows them to buy up pretty healthily.
The SEN have absolutely loved doing this. They just have the one Bulldog for Bang who's posted up towards A main.
See it on this map a lot from them as well. Even on the attack side if they actually win that pistol.
Yeah, it is typically on attack that they've favored this buy. Couple shards for GX, see if they can get anything accomplished here.
Zekken very far forward, but this is being checked for. This is about to be ugly. Oh my goodness, the raid bails him out. Zekken has the wherewithal to pull out the classic and go for some right clicks. Oh yeah, classic NA sting around, I suppose. For those unaware, that's a thing.
And then when you lose the stingers, it's well, it's not too bad. It's not the biggest hit to the economy. You can just buy more stingers, so you're fine. That is the North American
hailing
way.
from the land of plenty. Just buy more stingers. Great setup here for Narrate, though. It ends up being a crossfire as GX know. They know Zekken is in that corner. They look to dig him out, but expose themselves to that off angle. Not even Ara can bail them out.
Well, let's see what the plan is here from SEN. They are going to make a pretty fast approach down mid, it seems. As GX work both of the extremities.
How much longer can they take this early mid-control when we start to play the spam game? That's my question. Something they got owned by NRG on. With Brock just spraying them with an Odin.
One nice little benefit of playing the Yoru against SEN. You know that you're going to be able to use that clone to just trip the Vice wall. So that is immediately
super free.
Yeah, just off the map for Zelsis.
So change of tact here for GX. Flying off that B side of the map, which is far more loosely held. It is only John. By elbow now with a stinger, so not at his effective range. Likely would leave this open for retake.
Should have the molly for a little bit of stall, and Zekken is actually posting up towards that link. Dodges out the paranoia.
All right, in the site, Grabinho also TPing across, very much like Lotus here, as those two are able to get a bit further ahead. Into the site, rotation coming back through, spawn here for Sentinels, and a position taken up in tower. But remember, these are just stingers, with the exception of Bang's Bulldog.
There was really no opportunity for SEN to flood their players not in position. Zekken continually just smoked off. And now on the re-entry, they're going to have to deal with these thorns on the ground.
Yep. And no steel garden, no nightfall, none of that sort of accoutrement, so to speak. In we go. Zekin up first, banged out as John and QT step in. No one to trade there for Ara, but yet it's Narrate with the Sheriff to step up. Cloud, you'd think would be dug out of this corner in a few moments. Economically, this is massive for Sentinels. A very cheap bonus with 3 slingers in play. And we're going to have a full retake on the B side.
Just a 5-on-5 full retake. Zekin gets a lot of distance with the fast lane up coming out of Blink there.
It's a backbreaker for GX.
And Grubino just steps into the open to try and find the kill onto him, not expecting that a player would be right there. I mean, Bang gets an absolute free one on account of it. John out of his seat.
As you should be.
Yeah, what a round to win. Inflection point in this map. Yep. Honestly, this is where Sen might be able to just run away with the rest of the game.
And it's honestly an uncanny amount of these stinger bonuses we've seen Sentinels be successful on, even domestically. But able to have a proof of concept here and an international, gonna feel good for them. Again, they want that mid control here, but they're being pinged out. It's actually Garbino spotted by the horns. And an easy pickup for Zekin through all this smoke.
All the GX players, but just Sheriffs are caught in the corner. What on earth is that? Come on, man. That's not how the game is supposed to be played.
Give me that white ripper PvP,
That's not how the game is supposed to be played, bro.
Baby. Oh, my goodness. Tough round, of course, for GX to walk into. Knew they'd be unfavored economically.
This isn't what I thought the game would be when I was playing the
What happened to the game, I love?
This devious.
But what is to stop
activity from Zekin?
What is to stop GX though from scouting out this early movement? Because they are thrusting down mid, right? In theory, you could spray them down. You've got a double controller composition of your own. Ping them out with your, your Fade Initiator. Surely that's an option here to answer this like early push-up.
Really, outside of a couple of those early fight rounds from GX, mid has belonged to Sen this entire game.
Kings of mid, as we call them in NA right now.
Mid is so critical on Corrode that is just going to continue to give them the upper hand throughout.
The joke, Rob Moore, please don't tweet at me. Obviously not the ending to stage they would have liked. And everyone expecting them to step up here. So far, not so shabby. The mid control, again, that GX does not contest in the early part of the round. They're really only interested in the extremities. So Zekin's gotten pretty deep.
Rotate now from GX over towards this A side. Have to pay attention to Aura, of course, with that dimensional drift. Can collect all of the info towards A. And if Cloud gets just one orb, we'll have the Nightfall as well. And he has the spike right now, so maybe we'll see a scenario where this dimensional drift allows them to get the plant down, and then they can Nightfall to win out in the post-plant.
Ara in shot there, concealing surely a massive chin. Very chiseled. And beginning with the dimensional drift, and now sees the Nightfall come out. Cloud caught out of that timing. Looks like Ara's going to commit to the site, and he's sent packing by Bang, who'll happily occupy this pocket position and play off second where it even needed. Another 3-piece for the young gun. Another flawless for Sentinels, and 2 rounds away from a map take.
This control of mid is, again, just so influential. The pace that Zekin is able to just get right over into this A site and fight off that Nightfall catches one. Look at the teleport from Bang. That's insane, the adjustment. I mean, we rightly so talked a lot about how good Westside was anchoring. Bang is also on the anchor, one of the absolute best.
And it looks like the cue there for Sentinels is the dimensional drift that comes in from Ara. They know he's close by, and they just windmill slam. That
lower weaponry, but they're just ignoring mid entirely again. They just want to hit this B site with the ultimates, it seems. Okay. Maybe some kind of cheeky Grabinho teleport behind with the Nightfall to cut off the audio.
Look, we've seen Ara get into that B site with a gate crash. There's been a TP forward. They can at least get their Omen and Yoru past that layer of stall util that we're seeing from John here. And you're right, Wyatt, you called it. Nightfall comes on in. They want to fight for this here. Razor Vine already popped out on the side. Zekin is there already. And he has got an overdrive to work with. Straight through the pit he goes. He's ready to throw down. Spot that Grabinho. It's electrified from Zekin. High voltage warning should be on the label for this guy. Not quite the ace, but still, well, it's a show-stopping performance.
Bang cleans this up. 12 rounds for Sen, 1 away from the win. Again, it is just the pace that Zekin is coming into these sites to assist the team anchoring. These straight-up hits from GX
20
are
kills.
getting absolutely stomped into the ground because the anchors are arriving on time. What a over the top. Very cool as well. Zekin gets in, gets that first. I mean, this is beautiful play, but again, it's this lack of any control of mid that is allowing SEN to just rotate so fast, flood in, support their anchors.
3 big ultimates up in that round for Sentinels, right? They've been sitting on those for quite a while. They've been getting a lot of kills, having a lot of success on this defense side. Far cry from what we've seen domestically from them. Looks like they've tightened the screws a little bit here. Horn does ping out Grabinho, though, stuck inside that corner. Aura's already gone down, and Zekken tries for a flamboyant slide across mid. Sentinels encouraged here to slow the pace down a little. Finally, they've given some mid control over.
And why not go for that if you're Zekken?
Here.
At this point, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence. Flickless, unfortunately, peaks into 2 SEN players who've taken full A main control.
Oh, God!
Spike down A.
Well, Cloud gets onto A. Unfortunately, it's in a body bag and narrates. Slots in 4 to kick off Sentinel's campaign here in Paris. This was absolutely one of their go-tos. It looked fantastic, and it made its way back into the map pool when Toronto kicked off. And we did not see that same level from Sentinels here on Sunset, and since then, they've not really made it their own yet, I feel.
Yeah, they've been very mixed in terms of the results here. GX, however, have not been mixed. They've only lost this map twice, both times to Liquid,
right? Yeah.
And outside of that, they have 5 wins on it. This is absolutely their best look. We're getting Westside on that Cypher where he thrives right now on the B anchor. A lot of damage through onto Bang. Gonna need some support. Going to need a flood.
I think they know where Westside is right now. And look at this. They've inserted Zekken onto the site. The rest of Sentinels have actually pulled out. Zekken might have an opportunity here to really ruffle some feathers. But it all really remains to be seen on what the landscape looks like as this dark cover clears. He'll stay tucked in. Re-smoke to be main, and Cloud diligently is looking to clear this corner very carefully, but Zekken is not looking towards his left at all, just kind of hedges on the right side. However, Grabinho flattened at A, run over by Sentinels, who now can accelerate into the site and start to set up for a post-1.
Unfortunate that GX lose a player immediately after that with some nice awareness from Cloud to pick off Zekken, the initial first kill. Zelsis ready to flash, maybe to fight towards spawn, but no, SEN going to call that off.
Because of the one-way, likely.
He's just playing right now with that fault line towards Link when GX try to get back in here. They do have a good amount of breach util of their own to do so.
Zelsa still holding onto it. Veins starting to emerge on his forehead now. Patience, patience, and release. It's onto the site now. Ara the only player in, though, and it's staggering. The spacing of players has really thrown SEN for a loop. The narrates some sharp shooting. It's just not remotely enough. And in a 4v4 retake, GX looks sharp.
GX are really fantastic at playing around their breach utility on this map. This is still the map in the pool where breach is very much so relevant. It's the only map in the pool where breach actually has above 50% win rate against non-breach comps. So it makes sense that both teams are playing it here.
Good about nice.
Zelsis swings from that box on A side, expecting there to be more players behind Ara. But actually GX slowed things down. Ara goes ahead, and they've still got 2 players tucked on Link, who later emerge, and the timing completely throws them off. Also, Ara just knocks heads together on the site. 3 kills for him.
It's a map, by the way, if you haven't seen SEN for a bit, where John is back to playing the Cypher, just straight up one-to-one swapping with Zelsis, who's now picking up that initiator, playing the breach. This is something that SEN have opted for since Toronto, going back to John's old role where he had so much success in 2024.
Oh, okay, and a rare miss from Ara there. Actually allows for some of the mid-control to be assumed by Sentinels. They are, of course, on nothing but the classics.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to make any investment after losing the pistol when you know you're going up against Ara on defense. 100% of the time he's going to have the
full
outlaw.
armor.
Yeah, you need the full armor every single time you're going into that initial buy round.
Flickless here inside the site. This is awkward. Very awkward. Flickless able to get through, though. Zekken for a moment, thinking to remain towards top mid, but now it's going to be a large flood across here into market. Westside not able to find anyone. Some damage on Delson, but the looks of things, and Zekken takes the fight to him like a bat out of hell. It ends up being a trade at backside. Westside for one, but John gets in there with the classic. Flickless overwhelmed. Sentinels running in numbers. And Acrobino with the Bulldog has to salvage the situation.
Cloud only has the Ghost right now. Probably can't recover. A gun goes in. Zelsis just not ready for that.
Here's Grubby, though. A little more than a 1. Much needed, and Sentinels on nothing but classics. Once again, shilling the bundle. Get that top mid control and go mark it very quick.
the GX players just not synced up at all here. Aura is caught in alone. Westside spent a bunch of time just spamming through that cage that was thrown in market so Sen can cross the site. So he's a little bit late to getting in to actually help Aura, who fully commits, stays, tries to kill Zekin on the slide.
For no reason. I didn't even yell at them. I didn't even.
And from there, I mean, GX, they just really mistime their players coming into Flood and assist. They're essentially all isolated in ones.
I don't hate this position from Cloud. It's so dirty. Zekin walks up into it. And so GX will take their pint of blood early in the round. Nicely done by Westside.
Stunning shot.
And this is GX for you. So active in these early rounds. So proactive. Looking to work the map. Push up for info. Take risks. And it's given them the edge. Even if not the rifle drop there in B main.
Now Westside hears all of these players running forward. Catches one with the cam. GX are trying to be fast on this rotate. And Celsius isolated. That relay bolt forced narrate back or he would have been caught.
Frustrating for Celsius. He certainly would have felt stranded there. As the rest of Sentinels pulled the plug. Now we have to try and work them out with only 2 players up. Narrate considering a double back here. Someone who's been very vocal, Wyatt, in saying that when he can contribute more to the ideas of this team, he feels like the game goes better, but he struggles when he's not performing well to have that voice.
Aura takes this contact. But that haunt ensures that Westside's position, I think, will be revealed. I couldn't tell actually if he broke that, if it was flickless. Regardless, Sen do not want to get into that B site. They know there are multiple players there. Yeah, but what options do they have?
They've had no mid control at all, and Gravino is able to scope up in time to deal with John. And simply, he will pull back now towards the middle of the map. Oh, nice little angle there held by Gravino. A fantastic thrifty from GX. And again, Sentinels try the same thing, burst the pace onto that B site, but very heavily disrupted by the breach util of Flickless.
They're able to, I think, throw the guns around at the very end there too. Maybe get Flickless one, I couldn't tell. They were trying their best to recover all the weapons though. That was a great relay bolt from Aura, who was getting in to assist Westside so fast on that rotate.
Oh, we lost against Eco.
Can't blame the guy for being pleased about that. It feels like it's so hard to get bored.
Give it back to Celsius a little bit. He stood up for their ego.
But he didn't know what to say, really, did he? He just sort of stood up. Gravino, wow, they're having problems standing on their feet right now, Sentinels. Cut down aggressively. Gravino's able to push up here, and Flickless can only go 1 for 1. Still, the Sentinels committing all of the remaining resources to that elbow part of the map. It'll leave Celsius limping away with the recovered Phantom. An 8 in the chamber.
Nice shot from Cloud. Very quick with that reaction. Sen just go for the NA Stinger Rush, but GX a little bit too stacked up towards elbow with the much better weaponry. They make light work of that.
That's how it looked off the rip. The ping is very good. It's a freebie for Gravino. Shoot the dart, boys.
No one ready for that one.
Can't navigate all of that util pretty effectively.
Yo, shield down, sit down.
What was the first one? Shield down?
No, a little sit
Shield
down.
Shield down.
A little sit down. Sen, all right, well, we're getting into mid pretty quick. Aura's been able to pick up that operator quite early. And the buy for Sen honestly isn't great because they committed a fair amount into that Stinger round. They didn't get kills. They didn't, only a couple. They don't get the plant, obviously. So the armor, not ideal. Bang with just the Guardian.
And on Corrode, as soon as they knew that Aura had an operator, they stopped playing his parts of the map. They avoided him entirely. This time, no, not the case. They've got Lenian, of course, who can take this space aggressively, but Aura's going to repost up on this corner and might have a timing.
And the danger is where Aura's in a location, you want to go elsewhere, and then you're running into the site that Westside is anchoring, and that is where he's at his absolute best, especially when he's playing Cypher.
They do have the option, of course, to try and play top mid, pull the rotation through, and all gets gunned down, apparently, by GX. Man, that's going to lock Sentinels out of the round. It feels very hard to bounce back from that. What, are you going to go back to the side that Aura still posted up on?
Very cool from GX that they pivot into that high-low setup mid after assuming that Sen will be rotating away from A. Aura's reposted up towards elbow, so then they're ready to just gun them down midway through their rotate. They read the situation well, and they you know, as a team, will always do something proactive around that on defense, even if it is just setting up, you know, a high-low open face like that to get the man advantage.
I'm always really impressed by the sheer number of different set plays that GX can put together on defense. It feels like they've always got something. Like Pipson has them drilled to a T. But this team, right, who in this form we've only seen since, what, the end of stage 1? They won one game of kickoff? What, one game in stage 1? Now they're at champs?
Yeah, they were 7th, 8th kickoff, finished 9th, 10th stage 1, and now they're at champs. And that is also a testament to the impact of bringing in Aura and Flickless right at the end of that first stage. SEN, they make away with 3 rifles, saving on that prior round. Invested so heavily into this one, of course. They have that Nightfall to play around from Narrate, and they're just but 1 orb away from getting that Rolling Thunder for Zelsis.
Okay, that was a TP across tiles by the looks of things by Bang. A smoke top mid here. This is already drawing that potential high-low setup across for GX, leaving A pretty lightly held.
But they're okay with that. It's R with the operator posted up. He's getting all of that information just by existing there.
Safe pair of hands for sure.
This drone heading into mid is going to at least spot out Zekin. These dark covers are going to need to be cycled yet again from Bang up towards top so SEN can safely maneuver around this area of the map.
That's the second one being used. Of course, to be able to use a third should be required.
Now, it looks like SEN at some point, do they just want to see if someone is over towards A? Are they going to make noise and then try to pivot back into a B split? I don't think they really made any noise towards A just yet.
I think Zelsis wants to probably find a fault line opportunity when it comes back available, but Zach is going to go straight into market anyway. He sees the trip, clears it.
No, he gets killed. Wow. SEN are trying to pivot into some kind of crazy A split right now. A smoke is placed top left mid for Zelsis to maneuver in. Orso has this operator not spotted out.
Dangerous there, very dangerous, but Bang goes for a diligent little shoulder peek. Ara, those asking for more, and there's no opportunity to trade it back. Flickless may have fallen. That's a breach util gone, but most of it was already expended to the favor of GX now. We've got 12 seconds left in the round. Sandals accelerating here. My goodness. Threatening to break the sound barriers. They hit that A side, and all of GX get drawn out into the town square.
What an insane execute from SEN. That's a crazy pivot back towards A. Making it seem like they were going to go through market, then they smoke top mid for Celsius to kind of re-flank up top while they're going through main. That was madness.
Ara's set up here ends up being what? The trade. It's the play here from Link. Narrate has his crosshair set already for that emergence out of elbow. And SEN just send it. They got no other choice. John is...
Wow, he went crazy.
Yeah, he's disgusting in some of those moments. I think the pistol 3-piece as well back on Corrode. Another moment memorable.
Yeah, he's had some insane individual plays so far today.
Cloud very much just trying to make the most of what you have left. Bringing the lemonade recipe out here to Paris, I guess. But again, tough to replicate rounds like that.
Now, we've seen from GX, when they have a Hunter's Fury, they often like to send it into spawn just like this. R will push down Grabinho through mid. This is something that SEN need to be prepared for. It's a play that they like to activate that they've used in EMEA.
Zelsa's got battered there by the Hunter's Fury, and Grabinho winning in tiles is huge. It means that GX don't have to worry about
the spike is down in that corner. SEN are getting stalled out by the dark cover, Paranoia going through, or in an isolated 1v1 though.
They have the Rolling Thunder to get A-main control back. That is absurd. A counter one comes out though. Flickless lets it go, but it's Grabinho who eventually falls by the wayside. Sandals have not got off the starter's mark in this round, and Zekin's not there to double up. Now trying to at least play off this aftershock. Zelsa's got his, and it all falls apart. Talk about a team who likes to be assertive on the defense side. GX, more than most.
That is a classic GX play right there.
Keep them coming, baby.
They love to use an aggressive early ult. This is an exact round out of their playbook that we saw them use to win a round against Fnatic, for instance, in their matchup in the playoffs. This is what they excel at. Their strat book on Sunset is absolutely as dense as it gets.
And Sentinels have definitely seen that. Kaplan has definitely seen that. It didn't really seem to prepare them for it either way. What a nice look there for GX. Here's a fault line that'll force Cloud off the line, and in theory allow the cross back from Grabinho. finds a perfect window to punish that rate. And again, early in the round, SEN have been knocked down to 4.
It's good to see Grabinho really getting into the game here on map 2. I don't think that Corrode performance in any way is representative of the normal level of play that he is offering to this GX team. And he's starting to come to life here when they desperately need him to stay in this series.
The buy here for Sentinels is tragic. They want to try and work the map a little bit, but they've got nothing done over at the B side. Ara is there with the op. They've sort of sniffed that out, I feel.
Grabinho is still just posted up on this dark cover angle and knows he needs to get the hell out of here with his overdrive on the way.
Is he TPing? Yes, he gets out just in time, but he TPs into the relay bolt. Flickless though, sharp shooting, gets himself set up. Backside. And crucially, Banks still in play, so need a smoke to come back online for him as 30 seconds are left in the round to probably cover up, that spot in spawn. But Ara has had time to get here with the op. John, he sprays through smoke. Realizes Flickless is there for the taking, and bang, maybe doesn't know the lay of the land before he TPs in like that. Another 3 for John, but not enough for Sentinels. That's the 6th round to hand for Giant X.
How dangerous was that, though? The spam to the smoke from John was crazy. He is on one right now.
That is a very insightful shoulder peek for Grabinho.
This just never should have been that close. 4 on 2, he gets the 2K just spraying the smoke. All right.
Hey, you got to be feeling good here. Tough first map. Much improved on Sunset. They're going to thrust down mid again. They're going for an R and tears that to shreds. Sentinels barely get out of bed before getting clotheslined. Ara finally taken down, but once SEN cannot get 10 seconds into the round with 5 players wide. They just can't do it.
This is just another play out of the GX strat book that we've seen from them before, and no team seems to know how to stop them. It's just the combination of their initiator util, the push down mid, a push through B main. There's a fault line that comes through B main that canvases all of bottom mid for Aura to fight. And then there's that recon up top. It's just, they run the same plays and it just keeps on working.
And here's a neural theft for John. Sees all of this at top mid.
The second baited into that swing, and I mean, why not? Cloud was right there using that drone, obviously. It's just good that he had support from Flickless for that instant trade.
Zakin doubled his entire kill total in that round, Wyatt. He had a quiet outing up until this point. John has been making plenty of noise. This timing is going to hurt them, though! Tell you what, that's value for ammo, isn't it? Flickless X is around with 3. GX, 5-round lead. These guys really lock the map down.
This is just where they're at their best. It feels like even if you prep for the rounds like this that are going to be thrown at you, it just doesn't even matter.
Dude, the util comes in perfectly for Ara.
This is just what they are best at. Look at how all of that util is placed on the map so perfectly. And it's that fault line that comes from B main that just gets the entirety of bottom mid into lower tiles, which is even covered with a dark cover, so Aura doesn't need to focus on the left. He can just fight right.
So now Sentinels have to generate some momentum here. GX are locking them out of the map, and they're not doing it passively either. They are assertive, they are proactive, and they are more than happy to get into the face of America's number 3 seed.
Now Aura's picked up this Outlaw, knowing that everyone on Sentinels is just going to be on the light armor. He'll be controlling that B main side, and the rest of GX on account of that can really put the emphasis on stacking A together.
Grabinho here is going to be forced back, timing not quite on his side, but the paranoia came out enough to act as a relief valve. Flickless might try and work this angle with him. Not affected by the C's, but sprayed down as those bullets were intended for Grabinho.
That was very, very dangerous for Flickless. He was getting stalled up by those bullet tags, slow movement. Whoa, this is crazy from Aura. He's all the way out of B main, holding the exit. So,
okay.
I mean, GX, they know where SEN are hitting. They know that they're going A.
I mean, this is just breaking conditioning for Sentinels, who probably just aren't used to being in some of these positions. Ara, in no hurry to push off that. Full trust in the rest of GX to lock this A side of the map down, but it's to where push comes to shove. Zakin gets onto the side behind the box, but the aftershock came through, and Cloud swings for the fences. 2 kills cleaned up, and now Ara decides to get a little active, catches Zelsis out. Timing certainly works in his favor. And Westside will step in when needed. Flawless round and so many metrics there for GX. Untouchable on this defense side.
Yeah, they really do a lovely job of just fighting together on the site when the hit comes in. And second getting stalled up in the back box. That was essential for the win there. And obviously Aura just getting the entirety of the map controlled by that Outlaw, flanking out a B main and holding their exit. Yeah, that was somewhat important too. Just a comprehensively great round from GX, who are running away with their pick.
Yeah. And Sentinels are struggling to adapt. Why they've not found a gear that suits them against GX.
And Aura has actually kept this Outlaw, does have a few 125 HP targets.
Zekken and John, though, they're the ones with armor. So John can have some confidence pushing into this.
Much faster from Sen. They're going for that three-prong sight exec splitting from multiple sides.
Now, how do they deal with the anchors, though? Westside's going to be dug in here, but Narrate steps up with the Guardian. They know, yep, Prowler confirms. Westside in the corner and only gets his one. Stinger goes to work for John. And a Nightfall now to catch the players rotate in. 2 pings at Boba. Tells the whole story for Sentinels.
This is a pace adjustment from Sen that GX were not expecting. Ooh. Crucial win from Gravino.
Ugly stuff with the Stinger, but util in hand for when Narrate steps up to the plate. And now it's on Cloud and Flickless to make their way through a smoked out Boba. Money, damn good for GX, and it might be worth going for it, but they are caught off the site. Cloud wants to wrap around, has a lot to say across the stage so far this game. He'd love now to show some bite with the bark wide. Nice swing. And second down. Narrate steps up, and Cloud might just be him right now. Bang is all over the place, and Flickless is more than happy to put him out of his misery.
Unbelievable retake from GX. It's Cloud just able to isolate. He gets that 1v1 against Zekken, ready for the swing from Narrate next. He is going insane on this map.
That is really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. The desk touched on it. By far the most experienced player on GX. 5 years of play, and is yet only 21 years old, and has to be the leader of this team. And I love that we're seeing him give it back to Sen.
Yeah. Oh, is he indicating we won a 2v3 against you, I think?
Like, Zelsis stood up after they won round 2, and since then, Cloud has just been giving it to him.
It's a 7-round gap between these two teams. And look at how far back Sentinels are playing early. They're expecting some nonsense because Hunter's Fury is active. Cloud doesn't give it to him, though. Not in that way. Sen will be allowed to work the map here, but is it just them being given more rope? Market probably the loosest held part of the map here for GX, along with top mid now that pressure's come in.
And after just an absolute all-star performance from Zekken on that map 1, here on map 2, he has been completely nullified by this GX defensive util. Has really had no opportunities for clean entries.
No ping, though, being set up just yet. Looks like the Sova Dart comes in a little late.
Flickless has maneuvered his way into the site, ready to throw out some util, but Sen are ahead of it.
All right, gets the jump on him there. It's going to be a relay bolt. Narrate just stuck to the ground, transfixed. Watches the sword fall. And there's the Hunter's Fury that Sentinels are waiting on. In the last round of the half, Sentinels are unlikely to put much of a scratch on Giant X. Spike is heavily within enemy territory, and John has to stand and face the music.
I mean, look at that setup that they pivot into so quickly. Flickless set up to fault line through main. Off that, the Hunter's Fury gets significant damage through, makes Sen scramble in their positioning. They have this double setup in elbow. What can Sentinels do? Honestly, what can they do?
Sick. Honestly, the protocols have been incredible, and so many different set plays here for GX that have just kept Sentinels off their balance for the entirety of this attack side.
This is GX at their best, without a doubt. It's on this Sunset map, and it's with this play 10 seconds faster than all the other teams in Stage 2. They send it.
That's a nerd stat.
They have so many crazy fast executes where all of the utility sequences are perfect. All of their timings are hit. They're really incredible on this map.
Yeah, it feels like against GX, you have to kind of beat them on an individual basis. And that's been hard to do with all this util slanting engagements in GX's favor. Big stack here of B main set up for Sentinels. That allows the west side to be extracted early, but there's Cloud standing tall. John at least controls any ingress towards that Boba area. And there's Zekin tucked in his corner. This is a pretty conservative approach here for Sentinels, but they are getting torn apart a little. Narrate lit here by the bolts. At least finds Cloud as he gets around the corner, but he's gone low.
Wow, Flickless able to dodge that out.
Now he got into the sights. Spotted out by Flickless though. German unable to win that last engagement. It's a much needed pistol round here for Sentinels. And it looks like nothing more than grim satisfaction on their faces. They're still reeling from that first half.
Yeah, I like their decision to go for such a heavy B fight. GX do like to go for a lot of splits, so they can just isolate a couple of those players in main and then try to refight elsewhere.
One enemy player standing.
Last few bullets there from the right. Important round for him. Some confidence for the young gun wouldn't hurt.
Second trying to keep the spirits high there. GX, no investment on this round too. Maybe if Narrate can collect a few kills, Sen could work towards an early nightfall.
GX been pretty proactive here, getting some information about mid, but that tiles corner's been pinged already, and it'll be Bang to take contact.
Conversely for GX, if they can try to maybe around the world get the orbs, they can get towards that Rolling Thunder early. They've been able to get Flickless the one so far.
Economically, Sentinels never really able to get in the game on the first half. That's evidenced by Zekin leaving it with 4 kills.
Except for when they win the eco on round 2 and then get subsequently eco on round 3 and the economy is cooked.
Yeah. Pretty slow, very default coded look here for GX, of course. Hoping for something to be offered up by Sentinels, who are pretty patient. But they're definitely more leaned into the B direction. They'll have anchoring presences here, including John once more ready to shut them down from Boba. Prowler from mid. That's now cleared. GX basically contained by his util usage and now hitting a paranoia as they try and get out of market. John's there, Bulldog sings out, good damage. Cloud on the side, somehow able to win these very unlikely scenarios, but Ara is contained by Bang. Matches his freak, so to speak, and Cloud at 19. It's caught on the site, Bang knows he's coming and is trained on that corner. Still not enough to get him out of there. Cloud getting some pretty ridiculous 1v1 moments. And that'll be Sentinels convert on the pistol one.
GX will be super happy with that. They get the spike down, they get a couple kills, and it's Cloud, who's now 1 away from getting a Hunter's Fury. That's easily going to be the first ultimate that'll be used in this game. You'd have to imagine, right? So not too bad for them.
I think this team has drawn criticism from some of the attack side calling from Cloud, and he's maybe sort of less experience being pointed out, but yeah, this is not the start that we're looking for on the attack side anyway. Now we get to see a little bit though of what's cooking, what's under the dome for Cloud. You mentioned that Hunter's Fury just a whiff away.
Fault line set up if there's going to be some aggression from Sen towards A main. The GX could go for a bit of a refight here. But it's just a safer cross setup for the Sentinels defense at the moment.
This fault line likely set up reactively here or to set Ara up.
And now they can get more aggro with it, especially with that drone getting the information.
Okay. So it's good reactive fault line that comes out from Flickless just to stop Sen pushing up. They really don't have any deep elbow presence. Look at them pulling back on A entirely.
They're slowing things down, getting into elbow right now.
They don't really have information atop mid Sentinels here, so at some point they're going to have to start looking over their shoulders there at Link. Just giving that part of the map up.
Honestly, feels uncharacteristically slow right now for GX. Hoping that someone from Sen will maybe overextend. That Prowler's going to get the information on Aura in the corner.
I'm looking for decisive calling on this execute from GX. Waiting until, of course, some of that key util cycles back.
Yeah, they get that fault line back up, and now it's go time.
Aura onto the side, runs in and Narrate first. It's going to be Bang, no credit with the kill. Bang gets ahead of that dark cover, and now the paranoia comes out late. Gravino thought he had the drop on Narrate, but he couldn't have been more wrong. Narrate eventually falls, and there it is. Nice little flash through the smoke. Little two-piece from GX now. Assume control of the side.
Westside peeks out, might be able to catch him. Second,
timing.
Gets the opening with the Outlaw.
Relay bomb might make things hard on the side. That's John downed. Westside sharp as attack, folks. And Cloud will hold his ground there on the side.
20 for 8 right now.
Yeah, we've had 15 rounds of play, White. 14 rounds of play.
That is an outrageous stat line. Thought it would be hard to beat Zekins on map 1, but he might just do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, some interesting classic moments as well. The first couple of rounds kept him in the game.
I love how Westside repositions for those fights there.
John
Gets that kill on Narrate, then immediately gets back to play off contact so he can swing Link. Really intelligent stuff from him.
Going from, bottom of the table in kickoff stage 2 to literal world caliber should be studied. GX, it's unreal how they've come alive. And now we're finally getting to see what they're made of in the second map of the series.
John has the trip set up for back sight control. We'll see if they try to make their way out at all. Second, I know John does get that catch.
Yeah, Ara in the corner. Still a lot of sight control for GX. Now they are deep. They can anchor in the post plant. Grabinho very mindful of a sort of off-timing push out of Boba, though.
And now Zelsis, he does have that full kit to get back in. Narrate's still with Prowlers to play with. The C's as well. Sen have all the tools.
Harness Fury, though. Cloud going to try and preempt this now and spots out Bang by the looks of things back towards spawn. John tagged out, has the dodge away. Some damage done. Sentinels are against the clock. Need to get in here. Stinger there for Zelsis. Looks like fault lines avoided by Flickless. He tries to get ahead of the game, and so far not too shabby, but Zekin is up on the site and demanding some attention. Brought down by Cloud, and Narrate's got to step up in his absence. Does Bang. Tough job. Someone's going to do it. And Flickless puts the round to bed. 12-4 for GX. Just dominant on Sunset.
If Sen can't get it done there, they can't get it done at all on this map. It feels effectively over. GX just 1 round away. They're in a 4-on-5. Sen have all of the initiator tools to get back in. Full kits used from both of them, and that's still not enough. Even then, Flickless not in the ideal position for that 1v1.
Doesn't matter.
Adjustment wins it out. Mental play from him.
I feel like Haven is such a wild card map to look towards our third here. Sentinels have to have put in some extra work there. When GX get to control the tempo, they look head and shoulders above.
Sen have just had no inroads on this map whatsoever. And it feels like the second they find some kind of advantage, GX just absolutely storm them in the round, and it is done. Their game plans on this map are just genuinely fantastic on both halves.
It's going to work mid again. Pretty underboard. Sentinels here. Zekin opts to go out, look for something. The setup was there for him.
Yeah, cosmetic stun. Just one taps him. Cool. That is crazy.
8 and 16.
And now after pressuring mid, GX is going to go back, meet up with the rest of their teammates in B main and try to close this game out.
2 pretty one-sided maps back-to-back if this round goes the way we expect it to. Some volatility has been introduced into this series. Okay, TP there from Bang. That gets him set up in Boba nice and early. Johnny's in that corner, and Ara not able to fully clear it. Still suspicious, mind you. But John will have the drop on the site. Cloud with the plant now. Going to be forced out of the cubby by that arc shot, but John's going to have to get active. Another Cyber Cage set up. He does not want to show himself. I get it, but Ara and Cloud already racking him up, and John eventually falls. Zelsis pees in, gets one, but the rolling thunder will put him to bed. And Sentinels, well, they left the keys in the car. They didn't turn up to Sunset, I'll be honest with you. Very few of those that won Sunset. I understand he's looking a bit emaciated, a bit starved. Sentinels, look, I mean, I'm going to talk about that last series of their playoff run in NA. They looked dead. They struggled to bounce back from the beating they'd suffered. Sunset looked just like that. So do they have what it takes to dig deep here and show us a great Haven?
A map that we haven't seen much of them on in Stage 2, but they have gone to this double controller comp. Aura, does he dare swing? No. Dark cover. Zekin wants to go in, though, off that recon.
All right, men at the door. Zekin bypasses them entirely and then decides to get on out, drawing a lot of attention. And now they're going to make the dive here through Garage. West side flattens Zelsis all over him like moss on a rock. No chance to recover. And the site's swarming with red.
Yeah, just a sheriff bullet penetration going through default box. Now 2 players from GX ready to face onto Zelsis. He doesn't want to take that duel right now, though. He can just take things easy, slow down.
Coming. That paranoia doesn't hit Narrate, so he can stand a bit of first to the action. Not Grabinho or Flickless again, surely not. It's the Polish player alone. Zelsis waits for him to step out into the sun. Still, a mildly furrowed brow for Sen's fans. That could have gone either way.
That was an interesting little round. I mean, that's a pretty classic move on a pistol. Try to sell that B fake with your Neon who can get in, get out, pivot into the C split through Garage. Drone tags on the west side, and then he's lit up back box. Cool.
Has Zelsis shot
That's a nice part of having the Sheriff, though, on these pistol rounds, is that you can actually shoot through that default box.
How does Grabinho put that quick two-piece together? Dangerous as always, but Sentinels at least get their pistol. That's what they came for. Nice little pivot there into C.
So we have this gamble sack from GX that is based on this paranoia from Grabinho. If there's noise long, going to throw that out, and 3 players are ready to swing. But it seems like SEN are probably going to be dodging that unless they go for maybe a late C split again.
I don't know if Narrate liked what he saw off that recon. There was no Al drone used on that C-long position, though, so tough to spot this out. But with the spikes being left, very much a default look for Sentinels, and they are so... I mean, I think Cloud has kind of put the fear of God in them here about turning up in random places on those eco rounds, so SEN have to be... They have to spend that much more checking these random corners, clearing really thoroughly.
Yeah, they've gone ahead and worked all of long. Completely silent. After that, drone was early, second caught, but quickly gets that shot off before going down to the Classic.
No stone unturned for Sentinels on this A side of the map, and Zekken barely gets out of that one alive. Now, though, GX are going to have to play the A side retake, always difficult, with nothing board up. They do have all the breach utilities to spend, but the gamble stack does not eventuate.
Zelsis even waiting on this late little wrap through B. I have to say, it's tough for me to kind of rank where SEN are at with Haven in terms of their map pool right now. You know, map pool was something that Kaplan discussed heavily as an aspect of the game that they need to work on heading into these global events to actually get a trophy. And they played Haven twice in the second stage. It was against C9 and 2G in the regular, season part. They won both games, but just a very small sample size. So I feel it's very hard to evaluate where they're at the moment. And for GX, they've had moderate success. They're sitting at a 3-2 record in Stage 2. Beat Na'Vi a couple times here. So it's really tough, I think, to try to match this up.
And I think also we've got to take this map into context of the rest of the series. What we've seen so far from GX when they get that lead, when they start to build up momentum. They look to be really good at just strangling you out of a game. As on the defense side, we've not really seen anything special from them yet. No real set plays, but this is the kind of round where they should start to rear their heads. The Sentinels, of course, still have a Stinger Bulldog Outlaw in the round.
Zelsis does fully invest into getting that Vandal. Early recon, certainly going to be broken. Cloud taking the opportunity to spam through that standard A-long dark cover that SEN can use to claim this space easily.
So far, and this is small sample size of rounds, GX are a little less proactive. Again, it's a 3-site map. You're spread a little bit more thin. Losing a player on the extremity hurts a lot more than it would on Sunset, for example, where there's almost always someone else to back them up. Even like a 2-1-2 or even a 3-1-1.
Eyes are down.
SEN have maneuvered all the way back to this C side, which was vacant. Westside wants to get in backside. Will anyone actually be here in time to assist him, though? He wants to break the recon that might come in on that top left side, but it doesn't. It's just a drone, yeah.
Okay, well, they've got presence, though. You'll notice that he's been joined by Grabinho. Plenty of GX players here now. They're going to be lit as they come around the corner. Zekken, though, tracks back and then forward. Almost had the better of Ara. But the guy is a little too quick with it. Westside, backside, caught out. And Cloud, not inside. He is still making his way over. And has the unenviable task of making his way into C from defense spawn side.
So GX are able to rotate everyone into backside. SEN really slowed things down, but then eventually I do feel that kind of played to their advantage. They get a lot of clean fights. At the end there, Cloud even caught by Narrate. Lovely little kill, and is now just one away from getting that Hunter's Fury in terms of the orbs. Bonus round converted for SEN.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, it's this late recon comes through. And GX, they really, feels like they kind of try to overfight there, with that double swing coming back default. And it sends patience getting into the site that does pay off. Getting that recon thrown back sight after the drone had given them front sight.
PTSD?
That's a deep cut, John. Any knowers? Okay, so sending it out. Pretty slow. They work slowly enough that Ara's able to get in there as well. GX maybe just not ready for that tempo.
Now on this round, GX looks like they maybe want to explore down mid, try something more proactive, which has not been the case for them so far on Haven, in contrast to the style that they had on Sunset.
I'm not surprised to see SEN waiting for a push out of mid, for example. And actually, GX are more interested in trying to allot the correct number of resources to the side that they think SEN's going to land on, as opposed to trying to get early info pushes. They're not doing any of that so far. Again, the weapons don't really maybe allow for it. But they've made a gamble stack that looks unlikely to pay off for them. And honestly, that lurk wall over on the B side of the map will keep a few of them there.
This game as well, I will say it's an interesting clash of styles with the two approaches here to Neon. The West side has made his way into this backside that should be cleaned up, yeah. It's this double controller with the Viper that has really been the trend in Americas versus the very classic approach to running Neon on Haven, where you're running double initiator with Breach and Sova. And I think a lot of people do have concerns when they see teams picking Breach on maps that aren't Sunset right now. And I do think that's valid, but GX have shown a real proficiency with that agent still, where their sequencing of utility is really effective. Their timings are usually impeccable.
Honestly,
They're certainly going to have to be if they want to win this map against SEN, who are going to be at 4.
I think the KJ choice over the Cypher is an interesting one to examine. The turret lets you usually on the attack side watch for any pushes out of garage, and lockdown is pretty awesome to force retake circumstances on that A side especially, which is so hard to get back into. But GX here don't really see any way to make an inroads on the map. Cloud always seems to just ferret a killer way late in the round. No, it'll be GX perishing to the blast and hoping to hit the ground running in their second buy round.
All right, let's see if GX can finally stop this run of rounds the Sentinels have been on. Winning both the pistol and the bonus obviously gives you a crazy advantage in the series. The economy has finally gotten to a place where Aura can pick up that operator.
Okay.
We definitely highlighted that on the previous two maps, how that is really a linchpin for this GX success on defense. Him just being able to control space somewhere so they can rotate elsewhere with the rest of the players. Now it is a little tough at times when you're playing against this Viper. Having to deal with the wall does make the angles on A bit more difficult to work around.
I definitely feel like the texture of the game changes drastically when Aura has a scope weapon in hand.
All right, that trip front sight going to be broken by the shock dart. Drone in first from there, right? Similar to what we've seen before, a slower approach.
Drone then recon has been the cadence. Backside, we're just going to see some of those corners cleared, and Sentinels have seen or not seen enough.
Yeah, they want to slow things down. The rotate has been drawn very fast towards C. They obviously saw GX willing to do that on a previous round when they sent that sequence of utility on the C site. So now they're going to maneuver their way elsewhere. I think this is some really good calling from John. This B site is pretty open. Cloud wants to get in there.
Dangerous though. Yeah. Knew there'd be some utility to draw out, but Cloud overextends onto the side. It was ultimately a fake for SEN. Something that's been in their wheelhouse a lot in the past. GX though, convinced that was for real, and they get punished for it.
They have just been baited into all of these angles. Aura is absolutely going to be saving this off. Really excellent calling there from John, I feel. Just activating that same early util on C that drew all the rotates on the bonus round that they converted.
Oh,
wow,
no
he's even going to
way.
catch this kill onto Aura.
It's free, man.
But then drawing the rotates, pivoting to B, but then after they're delayed by that aftershock, they turn around. All of those GX players who were drawn out, baited out, they collect the kills, pivot to C where they've left Zelsis inserted deep. This was a really excellent round from SEN.
And also a decent time to make the fake plant play on B happen. Still the GX, maybe that's something that also has come up to them in VOD review, because it is something that SEN likes to mix in. Just a point of tension in this game where, for whatever reason, they are convinced that it's working passively.
At some point here, I would like to see them do something active towards mid. I
think we're going to get it
mix
now.
that in. And yeah, I do think they're going to do it here with this half buy that they've got going.
Now, there's no KJ turret set up to see this.
Oh, wow. So that's a recon paranoia with a stun from Aura into window. All of SEN, though, they're stacked up towards this C side. Sight is going to be totally free.
He's bang.
Yeah, him teleporting up top while Zekin runs in so they can double face back Sight, but it is not going to be held by a single GX player who is indexed in that mid play.
Yep. I like the set play. It give a lot of map control over, allow to contain, but there's no pressure coming from C Long because there's KJ Util that can obviously read it as it comes.
This round is as good as done. Nice shot from Zekken. West side was already
he's back.
on
Zekken's back.
such low HP.
Ara and Cloud. Don't have a lot to say about this round, I suspect. Just as likely to disappear in a puff of smoke. Set up inside Garage here, and once again, there will be a player late in the round for Sentinels trying to punish this. But no one's looking in Zelsa's direction, and yet Cloud whips on him. Pretty unconvincing stuff for GX there. Set play attempted, no result yielded.
Certainly not mad at the attempt, though. I want to see them go for plays like that.
Yeah, but how does that condition them now?
But a little insult to injury is that Celsius, even at the end there with a kill and the death, now has a lockdown for this bye round. They have the Hunter's Fury with the lockdown to put GX on an eco again.
GX have to play ahead of that lockdown potential. They still have an op to hand, I would think. At least the option to go for one.
Maybe if Cloud is one away from his Hunter's Fury, so that's the natural counter to the lockdown if he can get an orb somewhere. This time, Sen, they want to go very fast towards A. Teleport cross from Bang, but he's caught. He's stunned.
Okay, well, Sentinels conditioned to a little bit of a slower early round from GX and don't really see the mid pop from them in the previous one, so think they can still play in that fashion.
And there's a stronger A fight from GX. I do like to see that. But this is a good response from Sen. They have gone so quickly towards this C side. Can GX flood in to support West side now?
West side Tux gets the perfect drop, and Zekken is lit inside that cage. Too easy for the Cypher, and finally West side gets himself onto the board kill-wise. John, not the timing would have hoped for, I suspect. And now Narrate. Unsuccessful in trying to crack the remainder of this C-side open. Finally, Giant X get on the board on Haven.
Signs of life. I like how they played that round from start to finish. It's that A fight, very aggressive, fault line comes through, recon into lobby. It was on a round where Sen wanted to go for an A fight of their own. They are completely caught off by that breach util. And then GX recognizing that there was that fast pivot to C coming. Westside gets all the way deep towards Plat, gets the cages up, allows his teammates to flood back in. That's a perfect defensive round.
A good example of how that util perfectly facilitates.
And now look, they want to get aggro towards mid again. It's that play from before, the relay bolt, paranoia, and
Narrate takes the space back though. He's there in a second, Wyatt. Ara brought down. Just impales himself on his own sword by the looks of things, but there's that Hunter's Fury that comes off for GX, a big part of their early aggressive play. Zekken's got to get across the window, lucky to be alive, but could still be spammed down. As Gorbino wants to push up outside of lobby. Chaotic early round, leaves Sentinels down to 2.
Yeah, Westside stayed fully committed out of Garage, caught off Celsius, and now the neural theft would
buddy.
reveal these remaining 2 players. It's a 1v1. Oh, Zekken won that round looking very different. A crucial pickup for Flickless. GX, they have to convert this.
They got all the info. John can't get anything done outside of the purview of GX. They know it all. Now, those thin walls may be his undoing. Flickless wants to step up. And John doesn't have the mechanics to answer. GX up to 2 rounds. Finally, we're starting to see some of their personality from EMEA's number 2.
Surge of energy coming into this team after an absolute drought. This is the play they ran on that prior half by. This time, Sen were in the region they needed them to be towards window. It's that Hunter's Fury that Cloud throws in to get the trade when Aura goes down. Hits Bang as well, brings him to half HP. And they're pushing out of A, and they're pushing out of Garage. That was that play exactly as intended.
And Ara considered,
they drew it up.
Ara considered picking up an op a couple rounds ago. Opted for the rifle. The GX haven't really needed to play the passive line hold game. They want to brawl and do it again.
Yeah, they want to fight for this A lobby. Very hard. Gorbino gets the first. He gets the second even.
That's not where that came from. Zelsis was cut down in the corner there, and Bang is revealed, able to take 2. That's all he's going to get. That's the best he can do to give John a shot in this round. The money starting to dwindle. It's getting a little low for Sentinels, as this would be their 3rd consecutive round they've given away to the defenders.
GX, they are a team that can just suddenly capture the pace of the game and take it over. Feels like these past 3 rounds have been faster than an entire bye round from the beginning of this first half.
John here has to keep it simple. Not surging out in that long direction. Has to make a correction here for Cloud, and he's in mid-air. IGL seals up another round for GX. And like he said after the first, 5 more to go. Well, they've managed to cut this lead in half.
5 also the number of ults that Sentinels have coming into this next 5. But hell, they've had a lot of them for a while. They haven't even had a chance to use them because GX are just sending it on them.
I think Bang is trying to find a way to play in response to this raw aggression from GX. But it kind of amounts to him cowering in a corner while his team gets mowed down, and him with trigger discipline able to take 5 ults though. It's a good number. See a round here or there, 1 out purely on strength of those alone, so we'll see.
And now it looks like GX, they have a play to go down long. There's going to be a recon going in towards that seaside of spawn, fault line, relay bolt, Aura running it down, and John is just stuffed into that corner on account of the util. They know where he's going to have to reposition to.
Sentinel's obviously planning a pivot based on where that spike's been left. Zelsis needs to stay alive for this lockdown to be a factor in this round. He has to know Westside is playing close. Wins it out. That is an important correction. A flick to the head. That downs the enemy Cypher. Now this A side starting to crumble. Crack for Grabinho. Emerges with 2 very important kills. That is going to put GX to the shot in this round. A real one now as Ara gets close, wants to challenge it. Bang, cannot keep up. It's too pacey. Headshot though, Dink onto Ara. Doesn't slow him down for a second. Slides in. And the overdrive will claim the final frag.
Second wanted to use his own ultimate, but while activating, is just rushed down by Aura.
Yeah, he's lost it now.
Who opens the round, closes it. It starts off another early round active play. This is just what makes GX GX, and such a cool team to watch. John is isolated on that C side of the map. He goes down. And then, of course, SEN feel like we just need to accelerate into A. Also, massive credit to Grabinho, by the way. That 2-piece he had was so sick. And without that, the round is lost.
And it's crazy how frequently he is doing that. Even in these, eco scenarios.
Yeah, again, and started so slow, map 1, Grabinho, but he didn't let it get to his head. He has stepped up both Haven and Sunset.
Some part of the map, Ara has been taking liberties for the last 4 rounds in a row, and it's no coincidence that those have been defense side wins. SEN have also lost a little bit in that ult battery now. Still have a lockdown. They just have them now to get to the stage in the round where they can slowly work the map and set it up, and this won't spot Ara out. Honestly, this is an insane spot to be set up.
This is crazy. There are 2 Sentinels players right now.
John's going to die to this. Surely. John, please! Oh, he just doesn't know what hit him. Narrate there under extreme pressure as well. Zekin trying to respond, but if Ara gets out of here, this is masterful.
He can just leave. Look at the A site, by the way. There are 2 SEN players in there. How has that happened? GX were fully expecting a C-side hit.
But they're not going to get to cross for free. They've got to get past Cloud, and then final boss Ara is waiting there towards mid-window.
This is so bizarre. I mean, look at SEN on the map.
Time short, bang, deep into spawn. Ends up being a 1-for-1.
They still need to get the spike to his side.
They're going to be Ara, they can't get past him. Second slides in, and he takes matters into his own hands. Spike recovered, but a pivot, a wise one, across the map will send them to C. A site they've got little info, but can sort of guess that it's bereft of defenders. Zekin has to stick this, no choice.
Caught by the trip, doesn't matter. Going to get the spike down. Now, how do Sentinels position themselves here? Lockdown thrown on default. Yeah, GX, they really don't have an opportunity to break it, and Zekin wants to take the space that it's creating.
Doesn't want to over-push there. Cam dealt with. Delsus also has to play a little bit slower.
Yeah, now GX, they have to think someone could be positioned in Garage right now, surely.
They're not checking for it. No one's... Okay, Westside is watching it. Will you see the barrel? Yes, wins it out. That leaves Zekin now. Oh, God, you hate to be in this spot. Has to play long in the post plant. Tough to really spam this down. Grabinho on spike, and Zekin's not 100% sure exactly where he is. He's going to have to spray through, and he gets there! What a crucial round! The Red Bull clutch gets the Vibe Merchant on his feet, and much of Sen City in the crowd.
You've got to be joking. No one from GX can connect the shot, and Zekin sprays them all down.
Jeez, they needed to come up for air, though, didn't they?
I mean, that's how this run of rounds for GX ends. They're in a 3-on-1. They got the lockdown out.
Well, they needed a bit of magic, Wyatt. A drought of it. Ever since round number 6.
Kaplan made a gesture like, I'll take it. Not how I wanted it to happen, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, this can just be credited to the individual. That's just fine for SEN fans. Now, they're still in that Hunter's Fury. Also, if they ever get to a post plant, which has been tough, they'll have a pit. GX uncharacteristically played this round slow to start with. Bang, same sort of bait play. Onside Paranoia, but Ara's there to check if it's the real deal.
And that immediate bolt thrown down so no one can try to trade. Needs to get out of the way of the drone, but is a little bit too slow.
Viper's peak here, thrown inside B. Grabino now going to be decayed down if he lingers for too long. And Senna just headed elsewhere, leaving John behind to kick this pit up. But eventually he's going to leave too.
West side on the angle. No, Celsius is coming. He saw the barrel, and now he can use that cage to get back towards Plat. Wants to reposition, but a little bit too early. No one there to help.
Really exposed himself. Really showed too much leg there, Wyatt. And Zach and Franklin was waiting for a drift at the back of the site. The cyber cage wasn't enough to obscure him.
John's low HP. Narrate wins that out.
Foot off the gas so far for Giant X. Serving this round over to Sentinels. And Cloud, the IGL needs to get into the side in a 1v3, already down to 70. It's always good for one. That much we've learned today. But digging this high-low setup out is all but impossible. A late half recovery for Sentinels. They bounce back, but it takes this man on your screen to get them there. Just a moment of magic from the youngster. Decken saves their bacon. Whew, in that round 11. Crazy stuff so far, and much to talk about, I'm sure, heading into the half. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of this decided map after this.
One enemy remaining.
Scanning ahead.
Good recovery on the hand, baby. Good recovery.
But they're head above the surging tides.
And now SEN, they started this map winning the pistol and then winning the bonus. That gave them that early 4-round lead and all of the momentum. GX goes without saying, but they desperately need to win this second half pistol to stay in the game.
Less of a gamble stack approach here for SEN and more just distributed heavily in that A direction. The wrinkling here is actually going to be fruitful. So they've got confirmation of at least one player pretty far into A long, and Ara has already set foot over the threshold of A.
Bang just ready to throw out that Paranoia off some sound cues. Util exchanged, but no gunfire. Everyone's slowed down. Everyone's stalled out.
There's a lot of Utils drawn out of the defenders, Wyatt. Larrett here forced to fight. Westside will get away and avoid the shock dart reprisal. All of A main is populated by attackers.
SEN at the moment have not much reason to leave, though. At this noise cut, at this time, now they do. It's that B side that could be open, garage could be open, and GX have just picked the absolute perfect moment to get in, exactly as SEN give it up.
Or SEN pick the worst moment to give it up. It really depends how you want to look at
Glass half full, half empty.
Yep.
Depends on your point of view.
Well, I think either way it's about to be spilled over the cobblestones, Wyatt.
And now Flickless does have that fault line back, so he can throw that out towards main, stall out the SEN retake.
Narray can't really drop out of heaven here. He is too low. And then having to play the retake after making the right call on the side. It's not too bad. Ara with the stopping power of a back truck. Deals with Zekken at least, but Zelsis is there. Narrate here from up on high. Judging the peasants, he will drop down onto the box, but makes some noise. He gets a bit of damage on Flickless, but not enough to write home about. And it's John Grabino. 32 points of health left for the Moroccan mastermind. He needs to step up. He sees the shoulder of the Omen, but Grabino doesn't give him enough to work with. GX, get that pistol locked up.
They needed it with absolute desperation, and they got it. Perfect timing window to get into the site. SEN were staying on A, they were staying on A, they were staying on A, and after enough noise cut, had to be concerned about that B side. The moment they leave, it's taken by GX. Flickless posts up in hell with that standard breach util, that line with the, where you can throw the fault line into spawn. And by the time SEN get in, numbers are depleted, and all Grabino had to do was even just waste time, and they would have won that out in the 1v1 clutch. Or, of course, with the Outlaw. Always has it that second round.
And now, of course, we gamble stack. It looks like Westside and Cloud just down to Ghosts here to facilitate for their duelist. Be equipped as well as possible in the early stages. The double swing potential here as Narrate shows shoulder, but sees Ara coming. Might try and play off some of this util. And, well, the Outlaw does his job. Just flattens these Under Armour targets. Westside, yes, that's nice.
And lovely little shot. That aftershock good as well to push Narrate out earlier. Fault line comes through a little bit too late, but yeah, don't think John will be getting away from this one.
Now we call that taking responsibility for what we start. Ball load basically chunked him down to minimal amounts of health. Zelsis here will look to simply exit the round, hoping to get some value, even trade himself up. Never not shilling. You got to respect it. Also, the homage to Sufat BB, his quote-unquote boyfriend, as was discussed in the press conference. He was expressed some, regret that Wolves couldn't be present here. And I think seeing how they showed up in Toronto, many of us would feel the same.
Just going to wait out to go down to the spike explosion, unless maybe Aura does go towards that B side. Nope, just going to run towards spawn. Hold up, wait. Potential for an orb.
All right, makes it a noise. There it is, Zelsis. Not too shabby. Nexus around with an orb. Ara down, but the Outlaw was given over to Flickless to preserve that. So no harm, no foul, really, if you're the attack side.
We just saw some good util here from GX. Nothing unbelievable, but just the standard ways of getting players out of those angles into the open sight lines all works out.
One enemy remaining.
As clean as they needed it to be, they saved the crucial guns. And now on this bonus, we're able to buy up a rifle for Aura, Guardian for Westside. All things considered, not too bad of a bonus buy here.
Cloud actually has the Outlaw this round. The solo A main player.
GX were showing some real desire to get into that B site, but they slow things down. John forced away.
There's a Nano Swarm in the default location that would also slow them up. Again, trying to get some early util out of Sentinels. It's never a bad call.
And you would imagine the alarm bot in that spot will often be broken by a shock dart from Cloud. That's usually the standard. Zekin does spot out Aura in Garage. GX are getting a lot of map control right now, but Aura goes down to Zelsis.
Yeah, just to send try and get 3 players on C. They've realized that they need to get in that B direction, and that's nice from Zek and Grabinho's. Mostly been good for their first one in this series.
Yeah, this is GX taking a lot of liberties on their bonus round. Going for some individual plays to turn the tides. Cloud going to be able to plant in this default spot, but now in the 3 versus 5, what can GX do realistically?
Only Bang and Zekin susceptible to the one-shot from the Outlaw right now.
And of course,
play it safe.
When you're retaking on this B side, that's where this Viper Wall can come in handy as well. It's just a natural smoke for main.
Narrate takes a hit for that, tries to get him through the wall, but Flickless finds Zekin on the other side, getting in from the garage side of the map, and Zelsis will be slowed up to that effect as well, caught in the fault line. But John says no more breach util, no more breach, in fact. Down Flickless, puts Sen into the player advantage, but now they're going to deal with this setup from Cloud, and Bang was the only player not set up to deal with that. Defused for Zelsis, living dangerously and punished as Westside executes him with a pistol.
There is simply no way
GX
should be allowed to get away with a round win. 3 versus 5, they convert. Sen with better weapons coming into this. I mean, ambitious little spam from Narrate. Flickless is just open holding the angle. Zekin peeks out. Celsius wasn't ready to be there for a trade. A little miscommunication.
The Viper Wall's not in play because they're trying to fight out towards mid. You can't tell me your protocols for dealing with the post plant on B aren't ironclad at this point, at this level.
I guess in a way, there's some justice that both teams win the pistol and the bonus round. So it'll come down to honest gun rounds as to who will win this game out. Oh my gosh, nice shot from Aura, putting them in position to convert here.
Light armor gets you there. I am a little nervous as a representative of the North American region. I won't lie. Ara now with the scope weapon back to hand. He's already thinned out the herd of Sentinels players. Now we'll look to take that mid.
Thrown down top mid from Bang. Zekin working his way forward. Wants to close the gap with that stinger, of course. No one actually in this B site. Drone over top will confirm that.
Bang got in.
Aura wants to just draw out a little attention, a little spam. Maybe find out if someone was hiding wrapped around the drone's view.
This garage spot's starting to become a little more relevant now, Wyatt. As is a commitment here by GX towards the B side of the map. Banksy's Zara coming a mile off and is able to down him. John, patient, collected. And he'll have himself a frag. Second now with that fast lane, trying to get in Grabino's direction. It's a bit of wayward, ham-fisted. And Zelsa's now finally on the wrap. But this spike's headed on to B. They are going to end here. West side though in a safe corner. Grabino has the line covered and Zelsa's only has a classic. This is looking terrible for Sentinels.
Zelsa's just no opportunity to upgrade that weapon. Flank from west side was perfect. Bang does a great job backside getting that first kill, and then Zekin hit a really quality relay bolt that connected onto multiple players. How many times has Grabino got a stunned kill, by the way, in this series? It's like the third time we've seen him do that.
Yep. Well, considering he only needs one bullet to kill someone.
Yeah, just hit him in the head. Just don't miss.
Yeah, the guy has been very resilient to any form of disruption. And GX, honestly, like a decent pivot after things start to go a little haywire at B. They don't leave the site. Just a little reposition.
With spam being exchanged. Cloud, if he can get this orb, is going to have the Hunter's Fury. So GX, they want to get that C-long control, smoke it off, make sure they have that tool.
Ara with a judge here.
And the overdrive, of course.
Yep.
So can just use both of them when he pleases. After Shock to break a common turret position, will do so. So that's some passive info gain that Sentinels would have had on B, now removed.
Yeah, now
Oh, no.
John has to watch it. Giving it to him. Okay. Ara says, well, that's maybe a little bit more than I expected. Away from the fast lane and plays. He's got no interest in trying to recover that weapon. Overdrive will suffice for him late in the rounds when push ultimately comes to shove.
Now, what is the move? Paranoia and Breach Util used on A to try to draw these SEN players away from the C site, where GX are intending on going.
Westside knows he's going to get some action because the alarm bot is now no longer effective inside Garage. Zekin's got to take it up himself.
And Grabino, he had that from the shadows, so he can use that Paranoia on A and get right back to the pack on C. So they have full ready to get in that site. And they've got Westside, this late lurk through Garage. Flickless might even be a second player. Maybe Westside goes first, takes contact.
The timing here is beautiful. Westside so patient, so calculated. Emerges just as John had his back turned. Here come Giant Eggs. They are storming into the rest of the map. Looking really adaptable on this attack side.
Yeah, Giant X are always going to come in with some kind of cool set play around their ultimates. They've always got them. This time, it was working into C-long, posting up Aura. You hate to re-clear a guy with a judge. That is miserable. But then from there, it's GX running their Omen, their Breach over towards A-long. They use the stun, they use the Paranoia. They're drawing all that attention from the shadows. Grabino right back to C. They hit into that site with the Hunter's Fury. Every time GX have the ult rounds, they're open.
Being on a Killjoy of all people, which meant that Westside could actually, pull a player into Garage, further thinning the defensive setup for Sentinels. Cannot afford to lose Senti so early.
Now, Sen, they have basically fully invested into this. Not the best weaponry, not the best armor either. But they do have this Viper's Pit to just control all of that short A side. And GX, they could just try to heavily index and fighting through long if they really want to get into A late into this round. And it does require the attention of a second SEN player to stay on A. Someone needs to be looking at long. John needs to know what's going on.
Yeah, you can't play off the site now.
Yeah, so Narrate has to be back A jump spotting for eternity, basically.
And I understand that Sentinels do not want to have to retake the A side of the map, but like you mentioned, it can leave them a little limited elsewhere. I mean, look at how passively Bang is holding B. Only the Killjoy util on the C side, but there's going to be early warning there, at least for Zelsis, who's not offered himself up as a free frag early. Alarmbot spotted out. They're going to accelerate into this. I don't know if the Sentinels can respond quickly enough. We're about to find out. Straight to the Nanoswarm they go. Some spray air out from Zelsis. Ara took a hit, but most of that is decay down from the Poison Orb. Westside, though, has eventually fallen. Zelsis, his spray through that smoke yields a kill.
Flickless, quite low in HP as well, but one away from the Rolling Thunder. If there's a way that he can find a kill, that could certainly be enough to convert on this 4 versus 5.
Every other SEN player also one orb away from ultimate. They could rip that, but Ara
Look
just
at that
gets
confidence.
not allowed to swing into that as well. There's no response. Ara doesn't linger for long enough either way. Grabino in trouble though, getting hammered out by that molly. Flickless has to stand tall on the side. His teammate is on the other side of that smoke, so needs to ping them out.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're doing it again. Hunter's Fury
I mean, surely Cloud doesn't repeat the second from back here.
doesn't quite have a bead drawn on the spike location. The
Doesn't
smoke comes
happen.
down.
And also, when I said, oh no, it was because Flickless used the ult, but he died before it went off, so he lost it.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
I feel like that happened to Zekin a few rounds back. And he tried to pull out that overdrive and died.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, how it's more painful with the Rolling Thunder.
Oh yeah.
That is
No more. My ult is ready.
real rough for GX now.
6 snake bite in the corner. I think that forced.
Yeah, that forces
Flickless
Gravino
out,
out.
Gravino out, rather.
Out in the open, yeah. He had a paranoia ready as well for the choke, but he just had to run out.
Not too shabby from Sentinels. That's the round they needed.
Maybe trying to make a GX-like play there for a second with Zekin pushing down beard, but not going to happen.
All the KG util over at A, so Sentinels don't have to overinvest in holding that site right now. It looks like Yezelsis is going to drift off of it pretty early.
And I have a drone from Narrate that's going into A long. Is of course not going to spot anyone out, so they can definitely remain confident in just playing other sides of the map.
Yezelsis might be hoping for a lockdown mid-hit here to disrupt.
Yeah, and with this Zelsa's position, he's keeping the alarm bot online, and he's also in position for the lockdown if they need to retake on A. So Sen, they're just cool with playing over towards this C side. Second back site.
They might call for a Narrate Hunter's Fury here from Spawn. Zekin, though, holding on it. Might have hit this heard this TP come in. There's Cloud spotted. Yep, Hunter's Fury going to come from the Spawn side. Gravino walks into the sight line of Zekin, reveals himself, even though it was John that took the kill. Now looking to anchor. This Hunter's Fury slows things up for GX, but they are committed to this site, and Zekin is more than happy to hear it. There's the step up from West side, and the anchors are down.
Recon broken. Sen trying to get back in while the spike is being planted.
They know
they
he's going to be
can't
there.
right now.
Shock dart, though, not enough to clear him out. Narrate is down as Cloud just finds the timing to leave that corner. The lockdown is going to give that control back to the defenders. How deep into the site can they get?
Just going to come down to spam.
That's how we have our expectations set. Yeah, Sentinels don't have a lot to disrupt util-wise.
Cloud gets that recon back, and the fault line is up.
Zelsa's lucky to be alive as he's able to get away. Recon doesn't reveal Bang, so he goes for it again. But look at the crosshair placement for Cloud. He basically knows exactly where Bang is, and they're waiting for Zelsa's too. Every contingency accounted for GX. And an important conversion here in round number 19.
GX had a really quality second wave fight into backside. He was here with Westside, with Flickless, picking off that player towards Plat. Because initially it was Aura. He went in with one of those breach flashes, but goes down right away. Then there was a cage spawn. No one could flood, no one could help. Then they refight backside, claim the kills on the anchors. They force Sen into a bad economic spot. Look at what they've got remaining. Not very much. It's John with a hero rifle. He certainly had some heroic plays. He has gotten some pretty sick multi-kill rounds so far today.
It's time to dig deep. If you're an America's fan, Stinger Ghost, Phantom. Not the most compelling arsenal. At least this stack on A might prove fruitful. GX have shown less of an interest in bouncing off the sides. They tend to commit once they dip their toe in. This breach util, though, is going to be something that Sen have to contend with. It's dangerous to anchor against it, Wyatt.
But they are gambled correctly. 4 players ready to go here on this site. Did GX sniff it out?
Did they see the second player there? I think they've had enough. Well, Sentinels, how long does it take for them to read this?
Yeah, they don't want any of this site. They are out of there. Now with some haste moving towards C. Totally empty. Going to be able to get it for free.
Yeah, I mean, look, Zelsa's is going to hear a fair bit of this, and he'll know. He's even pushed ahead of the Viper wall on the B side of the map, so might be looking to wrap around. Full retake for Sentinels with Overdrive and a Phantom.
Despite, unfortunately, having wasted that breach ultimate, the Rolling Thunder, a couple rounds ago, Flickless has made a lot of progress towards getting one for the end of this game. Could be used at a pivotal moment to close this out for GX, but right now they have to win this 5-on-5 retake. They have the better weapons to do it.
So far, Westside's able to get clear of that paranoia, but Flickless was impacted. Here's the push backside. Ara, just the player you want to stem the flow of Sentinels players, and they get absolutely bloody trounced.
GX just stuffed them in the choke, fighting together, swings from all angles, overdrive, no value. Zekin has had no opportunities on this map to make anything happen with it.
Not this half, yeah.
Now he's played a trifecta of Neon games. His first one on Corrode was the best. But can he actually come to life at the end of this game to get SEN back in it? They're down 11-9. SEN, who we absolutely expect to be at Champions, versus a GX who we still don't know how the hell they made it here.
And honestly, the work that GX have put in over the last couple of months is really showing fruit.
No, we certainly get it now. Hunter's Fury from Cloud coming into that. Sight not getting any tags. GX will slow things down for but a moment. Relay Bolt now are through.
SEN have lost their re-clear info though off this overkill. And GX don't quite have the stall for the post plant. No controllers up for the attack side here, and yet that allows Bang just to peer into the mix, see what is there. West side served up. They'll stay in the site. GX more than happy to fight tooth and nail for this space they've claimed. It's going to be John looking for a timing for a swing. Again! It's these refights in the site where GX are just better.
Now it's just Bang. Has to clear Graffiti, but there's a crossfire from the drop. He gets that first up to Aura, but the adjustment isn't there. It's as you said, GX, they're so ready to fight together when Sentinels are coming in. They hit all of the shots.
They have no smokes, no paranoia, nothing to give them a material edge in terms of util. It doesn't matter.
It is straight up raw aim. It's Aura getting crucial kills. Besting Zekin here on this final map of the series. His Champions debut versus one of the best duelists we've ever seen on the global stage. And he's outperforming him right now on Haven.
What a showing. 21-16. Outlaw to hand, overdrive in the back pocket. Should have been required. Match point here for Giant X. Sentinels have languished, and that's putting it nicely on this defense side.
They try to push Zekin down C. We saw that earlier from Giant X, but it just does not quite work as well for them. And now things have been slowed down. This execute ready to go off from GX. Flickless just one orb away from getting that Rolling Thunder. Narrate on the angle.
Gonna get a lot of action, and there's Ara once again, steps up.
A bit too much action than he hoped for. Bang is committing to the backside anchor.
Pinked out, no, he's there, he's cut down so easily, it's on second again. 2 kills will have to be enough for John and Zelsis to put it together.
West side on the lurk, isolates John. It's all on Zelsis, miles away, only has the stinger. Flickless even has the Rolling Thunder on account of the plant. This one is as good as done.
Not the auspicious opening that Sen City were hoping for as they took to the stage here in Paris. But it's much the same fashion that they'd limped out of America's playoffs with. Question marks over the map pool, question marks over the individuals, question marks over their postseason prospects. But now we have an answer, at least for now.
Up against a GX team that finished 7th, 8th in kickoff, 9th, 10th stage 1. They bring in Aura, they bring in Flickless, and they've just won their first game at Champions.
And it just turns out that Giant X are the Goliath in this parable.